Nowadays, with the metaverse, we should start like this. The first thing I want to show you is exactly what is the definition of metaverse. And as you can see, the definition of metaverse, well, we have lots and lots of definitions all around, but a good definition is the post-reality universe. It's a kind of a perpetual and persistent multi-user environment that combines physical reality with digital virtuality. We have a convergence of technologies, and these technologies are exactly virtual reality and augmented reality, digital objects, and it's really an interesting and amazing world. The network of virtual worlds, as you can see, you can have a kind of a social and immersive virtual reality platforms. There are lots of them, and today you're gonna start working with one, with Life Planet. You have multiplayer online video games and open game worlds. Augmented reality, it's very good for you to collaborate in many other spaces. So the idea here is you have several worlds, and you can interchange between one and the other, and you have a kind of a parallel digital world. It's quite interesting. And what does it encompasses? It encompasses the social networks, games. You are working with immersive games. You feel just like if you are inside the game. And it's quite interesting because there's also another area that it's very important. It's financial area. But here you are not working with dollars or with euros or whatsoever. You are working with non-fungible tokens and with cryptocurrencies. Just like things that you know, like Bitcoins, with Ethereum and many other coins that are virtual. Okay, so what is the metaverse? It's a virtual world, as you have noticed, with shared 3D virtual spaces, and it's very important for you to know that it's 3D virtual spaces, not 2D virtual spaces. That's a main difference. And also, it's operated by virtual and multiple worlds, like our real and dynamic world. And at the same time, it is a digital world where you can have everything online, immersive, with 3D real-like environment. Well, what is the main history of the metaverse? Well, if we didn't have internet, we could not have nowadays all of everything that we work with. So we must thank, first of all, to Tim Berners-Lee that invented the World Wide Web. So thank you, Tim Berners-Lee. It's thanks to you that we are here at this moment working with internet every day. In 1992, the science fiction writer Neil Stephenson used the term metaverse for the first time to describe a 3D virtual space. And as you can see, we started here in a most important idea of the metaverse, and people start talking a little bit about it. As you can see, in 2006, for example, Roblox, and maybe many of you know Roblox. My kids used to play with Roblox, inside Roblox every day. So that's an online platform, and that online platform allows you to create and share games with others. It's very common nowadays. So the Roblox started, and we can see that nowadays we have many other possibilities. Decentralization, for example, in 2015, the Decentraland's first interaction of an online virtual world is created. So things are going a little bit longer. In 2014, the virtual reality hardware started with the platform Oculus that nowadays Meta uses. And Pokemon Go, as you already know, that works with AR, augmented reality technology, takes world by storm. And as you can see, you go and you start having, for example, the popular virtual reality game based on training and trading mythical creatures, Axie Infinite, is introduced, and it runs on Ethereum. So it's a cryptocurrency. Microsoft unveils the Mesh. I will talk about Mesh later, a platform that is designed for virtual collaboration across multiple devices. And on 2021, we had Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, that and it's the parent company that adopted the name of Meta, and nowadays they unveil some plans to their metaverse. So things are going quite fast nowadays. As you can see here, we have the top features of the metaverse. And what are these main features? As I've shown to you, we have nowadays digital 3D avatars, a really complete immersive user experience, a real-time 3D spaces. They are quite easy to customize and to work with, interoperable network, and interactivity and synchronicity of data and of everybody working together. It's very good. Multiple devices, functionalities, and persistence. So these are the top features of the metaverse. What are the top use cases of the metaverse? Well, first of all, we have virtual businesses and e-commerce. You know that nowadays in the metaverse, you can use to have your organization. And as in this Castlethon, you are going to work a little bit with Canvas and many other things regarding the creation of some idea and something. It's easy for you to understand the needs for you to work with this kind of virtual businesses. And there are many organizations nowadays that are starting to have a kind of a virtual business in the metaverse. Okay, virtual work in the office. Imagine with COVID, we just had to stay at home, and nowadays there are some some remote work that are being done, especially for some areas like computer science and many others. But people used to stay at home, and they are working alone, and they at least they see only the colleagues on Teams or on any other platform, but many times they use Discord or use something else, or WhatsApp or something else. So people are a little bit alone working. What if you could work with virtual work and office? That is something quite interesting, that you are at home, but when you have the metaverse, you are working on the company on the metaverse. So you are all together in meetings, and we are all together working, but still any other of you are all at home. So virtual education and learning. Imagine having this webinar not like traditional way that we are using, but on the metaverse, on a platform that works with metaverse. So it would be quite interesting. And there are lots of courses that are starting to work on the metaverse. So it's the same like you are there. You can be with your colleagues, virtual colleagues, each one with its avatar. So it's very, very interesting to work with. Gaming and leisure, and I think this is quite quite used. We already used to have virtual reality classes, and you could use them, for example, in PlayStation or something else. And it's really interesting because it's an immersive world. And even sometimes you get quite scared because it's just like if the things were happening to you, and you get scared about it. Imagine, for example, virtual real estate. If you want to, for example, to buy a house, nowadays it's quite used for you to buy things online. And imagine that you have someone that is going to show you a house, and the idea will be, if you can imagine, if you can go and feel just like if you are inside your house, your future house, and you can see all the details. So you are doing a virtual walk through your house or to your future house. And really, it's an immersive and quite interesting world. Virtual tourism, this one I don't like very much. I must admit it, because I prefer to travel. I like to travel. And going somewhere at home, it's not my thing. But you can do that. You can have virtual tourism, and you can go everywhere and have some of the feelings just like if you were there. It's not the same. It lacks the smell, it lacks other sensations that you can have. But it's better than never, ever being there. Virtual events. So it's quite used for any kind of events. And there are some opportunities, very interesting, that you can use regarding the organization of events, just like this one that you are having now. The blockchain use cases, and blockchain, it's also very much important, because we're using that blockchain, you can have some guarantee that it's secure and that you can trade things, and well, it's really important, and that you trust. Trust here is quite important. The social interaction and immersive communication is also very important. And one thing that it's quite important, the NFTs and non-tangible, it's a kind of, as I told you, it's a kind of crypto currency, but it's really, really interesting. I'm going to talk to you a little bit later. Well, what are the key technologies of the metaverse? First, I can tell you that it's the extended reality. This extended reality, it's quite important because it gives you high precision 3D maps with augmented reality and with mixed reality with the VR. So it's really, you'll obtain quite engaging and immersive 3D experiences. You have also the Internet of Things. That is, it may give you all the opportunities for you to have transmissions and also to use lots of seamless virtual reality integration of the metaverse, and artificial intelligence, of course. That will help you very much to have fast computing, intelligent speech, identify verification, machine learning, and many other possibilities. As I told you, you have blockchain. It will help you to create a secure, stable, and value-based environment. That's an environment that you'll have efficient collaboration and multiple trust. Okay? And then I would say that you can also have 3D reconstruction that will give you the possibility to generate geometric models, people, maps, and many other things. So what are the 7 layers of the metaverse? Well, first of all, I would say that you can have here something like the infrastructure. It's the first level. And nowadays with 5G, with Wi-Fi 8 and with the 6G cloud and with the GPUs and all the materials that now we can use, it's quite important to have a quite solid infrastructure. Then the human interface with mobile, with smart glasses, with wearables, with haptic gestures, with voice, and with neural. You will have all what you need to be working on the metaverse. The decentralization, it's with edge computing, with microservices, with blockchain, and with artificial intelligence agents. Also, spatial computing. This is very important because you'll have 3D engines, all the extended reality, virtual reality, and augmented reality, multitasking, and also geospatial mapping. You'll create some of these commerce workflow, blah, blah, that is quite important regarding if you want to create e-commerce or if you want to trade things and so on. And discovery with social curation, with ratings, stores, and agents. And at the top level, you'll have the experience. And with that experience, you'll have all of these. You can go to a theater at home. You can have some actors performing on the metaverse. And, well, it's really an impressive world for all of us. Now, you can have the pros and cons of the metaverse, and it's interesting to understand that some of them are very important, that, for example, the limitless possibilities for businesses. You can do businesses here on the metaverse in a quite easy way, and you will obtain lots of incomes and profitable incomes on that. Of course, that we are, of course, a little bit skeptic about these things in somehow, but we all believe, because we also remember from the past that there were some experiences that didn't go so well, as you know. So, but this metaverse that the organizations are working with nowadays, they're completely different and much more effective. Okay. As you can see here, I have already told about the gaming, the virtual tourism, well, a sustainable step into the future, and that's the main idea. Well, what are the cons, the most important cons that you can have? Deterioration of human relationships and connections. I would say that nowadays we already have a lot of it. That is, many people already spend lots of time in games and computers and so on. So, well, we are always worried a little bit about it, but it's, well, it's the way the trends are going, so we cannot be part of it. The excessive addiction to virtual world. So sometimes people start thinking that they are living in the virtual world instead of living on our concrete world. Separation from reality world and the nature. So it's important. And we are a little bit concerned about future generations. Privacy and security issues, you can have some of them. And health concerns, as you may already know. If you spend too much time with the virtual reality glasses and so on, you may have some headaches, and you can have some problems regarding that. You can feel sick. Well, so I think as everything, it must be, it's just like the salt. You cannot put too much salt on food or too less salt on food. It must be kiwi, okay? So the reality is the amount of time that you can use and that you should use. Well, talking about the future, and it's already in the present, it's interesting for you to see that you have nowadays. You had on the 17th September of 2022, the first metaverse wedding. Did you know that? The first metaverse wedding. So it's quite interesting to know that this is a possibility. So these two guys just got married on the metaverse. But this is not all. Imagine that you can have the wedding reception on the metaverse. And these two guys, Tamil Nadu couple, young couple that got married, they hosted their reception digitally and digitalized wedding reception. And as you can see, it's really interesting because they married on a tribal village, but then they hosted their reception virtually, making it possible for their friends and family to be part of the metaverse event. Imagine that it's quite easier if you have to travel to go to the wedding or something else. It's very interesting to work with these things. And I would like to show you now a video regarding that, and I'm going to put that video here.
Do you, Joanna, take Clara's child to be your husband, to be loving and faithful, in plenty and in want, in joy and in sorrow, in sickness and in health, as long as you both should?
I do.
Congratulations! I now pronounce you man and wife.
Joanne, you came back into my life when I least expected it. Just at the right time as COVID restrictions eased and allowed dinner for two.
Who would have thought a simple text message would bring us here today, pledging our wedding vows to each other?
A surprise reply to my WhatsApp broadcast would spark a whirlwind romance with someone who's been right under my nose the past 8 years.
You are my best friend, my beacon of hope and support, and the love of my life.
I will cherish you, bring joy to you, and take you on a lifetime of dinners for two.
Okay, let's continue with our presentation. Now, I would like to show you some things that are interesting right here. The decentralized finance, it's something that gives you trust regarding the crypto currency. I don't know if you have already learned about this, that is the non-fungible tokens. These ones are non-fungible tokens from this year's football soccer world 2022-23 this case. And what is this? There are some drawings in somehow that have big value, and then you can buy them, and then you can trade those. The money here will be these things. So it's quite interesting. And the most important is you have some of them that are quite valuable because they are they are evaluative. So they will change all over the process, and they are very, very interesting. Continuing here, I only want to tell you that you had Web 2.0. Now we are working in somehow with 3.0, and Metaverse, it's another level. And this level, you can have 3D graphics, certainly. You have all other possibilities that are quite much interesting than the web that we used to have. Now, here I can show you some the creation of avatars and the way that you can work with them. And it's quite interesting that you can show those avatars and you can change things. Well, the way you feel on that day, you can dress on that way. If you go to an interview, you may be much more formal. If you are going to do, for example, some fitness, virtual fitness or something like that, classes regarding yoga and things like that, you may be wearing some different things. Well, Microsoft started to buy, as we already all know how it works, Alt Space VR, and it's typical. The big organizations do that, and they now have a big lack of possibilities regarding that. As you can see here, this is quite interesting. It is, you have the possibility with Microsoft Teams to have meetings in virtual reality. And imagine, for example, if you want to be all together and talking with some persons from your organization and to have a meeting, and you can have the meetings just like this. So you are at home, but virtually you feel that you are all together. With Microsoft Mesh, you can have, as you can see here, something that is quite very useful. That is, you can work all together with something that you don't need to have it physically. And you can do lots of experiences and lots of prototypes. You do not spend lots of money. And at the end, if you see that it's really possible to work with that, you can pass to production. So it's really very useful. And you can have some equipment like you have here. I don't know if you have already heard about HoloLens. This little thing here costs $3,500, and it's holographic glasses. So this is quite top, okay? Of course, these are virtual reality glasses, and these are some kind of PCs that can be used for you to have virtual meetings or whatsoever, okay? The technical stack here is something only in a way that for you to understand that we are working on the cloud. You also have digital assets and digital life cycle, artificial intelligence platforms for augmented reality and virtual reality, IoT platforms. It's also very useful, and that I've already told you, the blockchain ledger. Immersive apps, decentralized apps, collaboration apps, and digital metaverse tools. The metaverse value chain, and I think it's very important for you, this, because we are talking about value chain. You can have lots of things just like the foundation, the tools, the user interface, headsets, personal computers, gaming consoles, smartphones, and so on. And the experience that is quite valuable. All of these you can use on the metaverse. Meta, as I have already told you, formerly called Facebook, also are investing a lot on the metaverse. And you can have, for example, of course, virtual reality, augmented reality, and the smart glasses. For example, Meta is working with gaming, with fitness, as I've already told you about fitness, social media, entertainment. Imagine going to a concert at home, okay? And you have the artists singing for you, okay? It's amazing. And the productivity. Imagine that you no longer need to have a portable PC. Imagine that you only need to have some glasses. And those virtual reality glasses working on the metaverse can give you the opportunity. You don't need to have displays or monitors or anything else. You only need to have those glasses. Even the keyboard that you are working with, it's virtual. So that it's very, very impressive, because you can drag and drop things with your hands and work like that. So this is the best office that you can have. Ray-Ban has launched also these smart glasses. Well, in my opinion, I have been learning a little more about it. They need a lot to get better, but it's one of the possibilities to have. Here you have also two different kind of virtual reality glasses and immersive glasses, from the MetaQuest Pro and the MetaQuest. MetaQuest 2, it costs around $350, something like that, $400. Now they are having a discount. And it's very good if you are thinking about this. It's very good idea for you to buy them now, because they are with discount. I have already bought some for me. And the MetaQuest Pro, that it's a little bit more expensive, where it's about 1,000 and something, 1,020, or 1,200, 1,400, something like that. So they are much more expensive. They are much better, but they are too much. Then you can also have here, well, the tool that you are going to work now, later when I finish my webinar. You are going to work with Life Planet. So I would like, the first platform that I wanted to show you was exactly this one. But you can have many others. For example, you can have these ones, Gather, or for example, Horizon, or, well, there are many here, so also from Microsoft and so on. There are also others from Roblox, Nightland, the Wonder, and the NVIDIA developer. Well, Magic Leap. Well, there are many, many platforms nowadays that you can use. So there are not a lack of platforms regarding these things. We are almost finishing, and I would like only to show you what are the most used keywords for metaverse. And you can see here lots of words like altcoins, like cryptocurrency, like, for example, trade. For example, I would say, well, there are blockchain, as I've told you. So quite many keywords that if you are entering the world of the metaverse, you need to know. And we also have the metaverse market map. So for some of you that will hear from other people, oh, the metaverse is at the beginning and that makes no sense, blah, blah. Well, is this at the beginning? You have here lots and lots of metaverse tools with experience, with discovery, with spatial computing, with human interface, with infrastructure. So regarding this, is metaverse at the beginning? I think it's not at the beginning. If you will not use metaverse, meanwhile, you may have the problem of being a little bit a part of the future. Okay. What are the 9 megatrends shaping the metaverse? They are virtual mainstreaming, machine intelligence, simulation reality, challenges by open platforms, rise of cybernetics, acceleration distributed networks, walled garden ecosystems, low-code platforms, and blockchain adoption. And we have also from Gartner, and I think you know, but Gartner will give you lots of trends regarding the way things are nowadays and regarding the perspectives for the future. And here you can have, for example, by 2027, over 40% of large organizations worldwide will be using a combination of Web3 and spatial computing and digital twins in metaverse-based projects aiming at increasing revenue. So there are some organizations that are already dealing with this. For example, JP Morgan or Siemens. Well, they are really investing a lot on this metaverse thing because it's really the future. And this is the last slide. So the idea here is you start with, at the beginning, with digital humans. You work with training in customer service, and this will be very useful to brand influence with digital and humans and gaming. Well, you get a big brand influence, and your organizations will be quite valuable if you do, for example, customer service regarding the metaverse, because people will feel that they are working and talking with you and giving you the opportunity to help the customers. We also have the games, the meetings, and the retail with events, with sales. So as you can see here, the metaverse will have lots of key actions, and these key actions will be explore opportunities where metaverse technologies could optimize digital businesses. And I think this is very, very important. How can we use the metaverse for our business? How can we use the metaverse to be part of the future of my organization? Build metaverse products and solutions through a pipeline of innovation. And this is also very much important for you on this Castlethon. And if I identify metaverse-inspired opportunities by evaluating current high-value use cases, develop technology strategies to leverage the built-in infrastructure and participants, and invest in specific emergent metaverse the future, and at the end, protect your reputation. Okay, so I would like to thank you all for being here, and I will like to thank you all also for the opportunity to listen to me, and at the same time wish you all the best on this Castlethon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Nuno. Thank you very much for your presentation. Now, we have the most immersive experience in the metaverse. We have here with us Miguel Angelo from Live Planet. We just have to change the link on YouTube, okay? And he will share with us about the platform. So go to Discord to change the link, and now we will immerse in metaverse. See you there.
Bye.